I'm Dilip Venkatachari, CEO of Compass Labs, and here with my colleague Andre Leb, VP of Business Development. Compass Labs is the most effective and efficient way to advertise on social media. As social media usage explodes, advertisers face a fundamental problem, which is just how do they identify the most specific users, the users who are interested in buying their products or services from among the sea of humanity on social media. It's made complex because traditional technologies like keywords, cookies, behavioral targeting simply don't work there. That is the problem which we solve. Over the past year and a half, our team of engineers and scientists with experience in essentially machine learning, natural language processing, and predictive analytics has developed sophisticated technologies to very precisely identify specific audiences for advertisers. For example, we can identify for our advertisers the 300,000 people or so in the US today who are interested in buying a car to own a compact and are environmentally conscious, which would be the ideal target if you were GM trying to look for customers for the Chevy Volt. In addition to such precise targeting, our ad platform delivers ads where users spend most of the time today, which is on social networks and socially connected applications and websites, reaching all in about 200 million unique users in the US alone. This combination of precision targeting, constant ongoing cross-channel optimization, and social placement has allowed us to deliver superior results for our advertisers. So we're proud to count among our customers, large advertisers and small, brands, direct response advertisers, and e-commerce merchants. Importantly, most, if not all of these advertisers on the list that you see are repeat customers. They've gone through for multiple campaigns with us. So a bit about our business model. Who are our customers? They are advertisers, agencies, brands, SEM agencies, any e-commerce merchants. What is our value proposition? We deliver traffic with 3 specific attributes. First, it has to be high quality. What we deliver is precise audiences, not less, and importantly, not more. No wasted clicks, no wasted impressions. Second, we deliver at scale, hundreds of millions of possible users. And finally, cost effectively. Our solution is structured in a manner in which it's easy for advertisers to understand and comprehend with no behavioral changes. We are a social ad network. Advertisers buy social, very precision targeted traffic from us. A couple of things to add which are not on the slide here. First, we are competitively unique. And 2, we enjoy significant first mover advantage in the sense that each ad campaign that we run, each ad that we serve, and each user click that we go through serves to improve the relevance of our algorithms in a very material manner, and so increases the competitive distance that we put between ourselves and the next person that might be doing it. A bit about the team. We were founded about a year and a half ago by a team of people with deep industry experience in search, in advertising, in algorithms, and I previously built and ran Google's mobile business, and this is my 3rd startup. We have closed 2 rounds of investment from prominent investors, including NEA, Triple Point Capital, and others. In closing, 3 things. First, it's a huge market opportunity, something that I didn't feel kind of the need to go through into detail at today's conversation. Huge and growing market opportunity for social advertising. Second, customers are buying our product. Our product seems to be the one that is meeting the demand and seeing increasing acceptance. Third, we believe we have a very strong and experienced team. Thank you very much.
And we're early. We're early. We're rarely early when people are giving those. So we have 10 minutes right now, and Mark, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts after hearing
quick thoughts. Obviously, given your domain knowledge, great space for you to be in. I like the space of social media marketing campaigns. I have an investment in the space. It's non-competitive. But it does, being in the space brings up a host of issues that I'd love to hear some feedback on. Number one, how do you feel the performance across the various platforms are? Twitter and Facebook in particular have not been that encouraging of third-party ad networks stepping in. They allow it in certain circumstances. They prohibit it in others. How are you seeing Facebook versus Twitter versus mobile? And the second question is, I looked at your list of advertisers. It felt very DR, very direct response. Are you focused on CPM or CPA, CPC, or some other type of ad product?
Sure. So to answer both the questions, the first question was about how do you work with social networks like Facebook and Twitter, and how does the ad placement process work there? The most important thing is we bring unique value to the process, which is by looking across at all of the publicly available social information, we are creating kind of fresh value, which both Facebook and all of the social networks and applications actually want us to do. So what we are doing is something that's incremental to
in Facebook, I'm sorry to ask specifics, but in Facebook, I presume you're prohibited to the right-hand panel running ads there rather than in-stream where consumers' eyeballs are.
So we place ads actually in multiple places, and Facebook is constantly evolving, improving the nature of their, the number of ad options they have. But we serve ads, yes, on the right panel through the Facebook APIs. We serve ads in multiple other places as Facebook kind of adds them. And so Facebook does permit us to use our targeting on their platforms as well. So most importantly, the reason that other ad networks, traditional ad networks, have had problems is that they rely on things like cookies, which simply don't translate on social media. And your second question was about the nature of our ad relationships. So we price predominantly CPC. Most of our customers pay on performance, CPC based, and some on CPM as well. The important issue is the nature of the customer segmentation that we deliver. I hope
Great. I just want to turn it over to that panel for questions.
So my question is about the return on investment for the customer. So first of all, who's your largest customer, if you can disclose it? Secondly, how much have they spent with you? And third, for every dollar they spend with you, what do they get return in terms of sales?
Okay. So let me try and answer all of those questions in a somewhat different order. First is return on sales. There is a class of customers, particularly kind of the CPA-oriented direct response advertisers who care and want that. And the best way for me to characterize that is we deliver return on sales approximately the same levels as you would on a well-targeted Google campaign. And in fact, if you just want to even discuss pricing, we basically our pricing is approximately competitive with Google CPC because we believe we deliver a similar performance but on social networks. Our advertisers tend to spend, the social ad spend is growing, increasing. What we essentially see right now is a shift from television more so to social in terms of kind of where the ad budgets are going. And so we see that as an increasing portion. And to answer one of the other parts of the question, I would say about 60% of our ad spend on our network tends to be brand and 40% direct response.
Can you talk a little bit about your IP and your engine? So when you put up the picture of here are all the people that want to buy Chevy Volt, do you have some quantitative metrics of how precise, so of that group you identified, how many of them actually were in the market versus you thought they were in the market and they weren't?
Sure.
And how big a percentage is that? So there could be like 200 people that are in the market in social network for the Chevy Volt, right? And you only found the 10 of them.
Sure. Very, very good question. Basically, all our algorithms are rated on a constant basis on two very important attributes, precision and recall, as they're kind of popularly referred to in the industry, which is precision basically is, of a given sample of 100 people, how many of those 100 people are really, really my customers, right? The second one, recall, is if there are 100 people out there in this population set that I just delivered you, how many of them do I actually end up delivering? So so we develop these segments on an ongoing basis, and the precisions, our target precisions are something in the 80 to 90% range, and certainly they vary depending upon various attributes. Recalls, ideally we'd like to get recalls up over 66%, over 2/3 to 75%. That would be, we consider, a very good campaign.
So I have a question, I guess, as to how you're actually targeting individuals. It looks like you're just loading ads into the Facebook ad system. Is that true? Are you creating campaigns within Facebook?
I'm sorry. So the question is, when campaigns run on Facebook, how do we serve them?
Well, essentially, you're describing it as though you're targeting individual users, but then you're actually just loading campaigns into Facebook. Is that true? Are you actually able to target individuals, or are you just coming up with?
We don't target individual users. We target segments of users. We don't target individuals. Second, so we place ads on Facebook. We place ads on a variety of social applications and websites where essentially they serve us, when a user is on, they send us an ad request call, much like any ad network, and we serve back an ad. So we have both combinations.
So how granular are you actually able to be then, given that you're not actually serving the ads, but Facebook is?
So we are granular in the sense that we pick segments. So we identify segments for each campaign, and those segments basically meet the precision and recall test we talked about. So when we are targeting, let's say this, we talked about this customer said that was interested in buying cars, and so on and so forth. If we are targeting, let's say, 300,000 people there, we'd be highly confident that about 85% of them would be kind of the right customers, would be truly in market. And we would not target by name. We don't target by specific profile information or any of those.
So who are the three biggest competitors that you have, and how are you different than them? I mean, part of this is originality of idea. So if you're looking at this market, who are you going after? What niche are you feeling that's different than what exists already?
So this is a new and growing niche in the sense people are, as social media has finally taken on something of significant importance, where you have 1 in 4 page views right now on Facebook, and you have some huge amount of time, more time spent on Facebook, say, than on TV. Advertisers are following the eyeballs. So more and more people are going to try and advertise on social media. So to that extent, right now, the only choices available for people to advertise on social media for the most part are the social networks themselves, single networks. You can advertise on Twitter, or you can advertise on Facebook. And so we basically are the first, if you will, cross-channel player that brings additional new insights to be able to help you advertise on these platforms. So no direct competitor yet is probably the direct answer.
How did? Yeah.
I mean, you may have been first. I've seen at least 3 companies come through my office that are doing multi-targeting. They tend to be buying even on places like StumbleUpon. So StumbleUpon, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and allowing a multi-campaign from a single purchasing platform.
Actually, what we don't do, just to be clear, is going and serving on websites where there's no social interaction. There are lots of people who do cookies, who try and say, there are 500 people shared a news article and extend that to potentially an audience segment around maybe the basketball clip that you shared. To us, that's very distinct from advertising on social media. Our ads don't show up on unconnected sites where there just happens to be a cookie on a remnant network. We advertise where users are most likely to be engaged and on social networks. So there is, I believe, a significant difference between some of those players, but I don't know of other people who might be planning and contemplating similar ventures.
Can you give an idea of what you said? Hey, this is fairly defensible because you had some time machine learning, right? And
right.
The more it gets used, the more better it gets. What's your volume of traffic? What if I was one of the big ad networks today, and I got 5 engineers together, and I'm assuming that they serve 100 times more ads than you do today, if not 1,000 times more ads. How fast can they leapfrog you? How fast can they teach?
We estimate the most difficult part of what we were doing was working on the social data extraction, which is mostly natural language processing. By the way, big difference from traditional ad networks where you had data and just CPR, CTC, those kinds of metric extraction. What we have here is basically, I'm not saying it's never possible for someone to do it, but the lead time probably would be about a year and a half of sustained, because there's a lot of algorithmic training to do. Initially, when you start out, the precision of these algorithms tends to be horrible. And the recall, so you'll probably get, if you're trying to target 100 people, you'll get 20 people at best that are relevant. So you end up kind of burning a lot of cycles around that. So is it doable? Possibly. How long would it take? I suspect probably a year and a half of sustained effort.
And with that, we are functionally out of time. Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.